In this video, I'm going to share 10 astonishing facts about NN-DMT, dimethyltryptamine, which is commonly known as one of the most powerful psychedelic substances on Earth. I'm really excited for this video because the 10 facts that I'm about to present here provide incredibly compelling evidence that there is so much more to this mystery than anything science has even begun to discover. Under the influence of DMT, people report intensely visual, out-of-body experiences of separating from the physical body and traveling to other realms and dimensions of existence beyond this universe. For several years now here on this channel, I've been sharing why I'm convinced that this represents a key to unlocking new discoveries about some of life's greatest mysteries, about the nature of mind, the nature of consciousness, and reality itself. Now, I do want to say that this video is not intended to glorify the use of DMT or any illicit substance. This is made purely for education and harm reduction purposes. Without further ado, let's get started. Welcome back to Cosmic Consciousness. My name is Jonas, and if you're new to this channel, I discuss psychedelics, consciousness, and some of life's greatest mysteries. Please consider subscribing and liking this video. It's a huge support in growing this conscious community. I also want to give a shout out to my new partner here on this channel, Mighty Fungi. I've been taking their lion's mane mushroom supplements over the past several weeks, and I've just been extremely impressed. I've noticed significant improvements in my mental clarity, my ability to focus, and research has found that lion's mane can reduce symptoms of depression, anxiety, and even have neurogenerative effects. This is a different type of magic mushroom. Please check out the Mighty Fungi website at the link below and use the discount code INNERVISION to support this channel while also receiving a great product. Thank you so much. The first incredible fact about DMT is that it's found in thousands of different plant and animal species. This is a commonly known fact that DMT is found all throughout the natural world, but you might be surprised at the extent to which that's really true. It's estimated that thousands of different plant species naturally produce and contain DMT, including common grass, which contains trace amounts of DMT. Every single mammalian species that's been tested so far has been found to endogenously produce DMT. And of course, this includes us, human beings. We all have DMT within our systems right now. This is a great mystery. No one knows why this is the case. Why is it that the most powerful psychedelic substance on the face of the planet is found all throughout the natural world in thousands of different plant and animal species? From an evolutionary perspective, this seems to suggest that DMT plays an extremely important role in life processes. What does this tell us about the nature of DMT? The second astonishing fact about DMT is that even though we know it occurs naturally in the human body, we have no idea why or what function it serves. As previously mentioned, DMT has been confirmed to be endogenously produced in the human body. It's been identified in spinal fluid, in blood, even in urine and different body tissues. In fact, a recent study found that DMT occurs in the human brain at similar rates to serotonin, which is just astonishing. This is a huge finding because we know that serotonin is one of the most important neurotransmitters in the brain that regulates our mood, our anxiety, our happiness, depression. DMT occurs at similar rates in our physiology, which suggests that it has a very important function. This powerful psychedelic substance is naturally produced by the human body, and we have no idea what role it plays. It's the 21st century. How is that possible? Either way, the fact that it's endogenously produced in the human body really just emphasizes the mysterious nature of this molecule. Now let's dive into the DMT experience itself. The third astonishing fact is that over 50% of DMT users describe visits to invisible worlds. This is based on the research of Dr. Rick Strassman, who wrote DMT, the Spirit Molecule, after researching this psychedelic compound at the University of New Mexico. I actually recently interviewed Dr. Strassman here on this channel, and his research found that, again, over 50% of people describe their DMT experience as a visit to some sort of invisible world, an alternate realm or dimension of existence beyond the physical universe. This is sometimes called a breakthrough experience, where it feels as though consciousness separates from the physical body, leaves this lifetime behind temporarily, and arrives in some sort of alternate plane of reality. The strange thing is that these invisible worlds, these alternate realities, feel incredibly real. In fact, a recent survey of DMT experiences found that 81% of DMT users describe these DMT experiences as more real than normal waking consciousness, which is super interesting. If these are all hallucinations in the brain, then why are so many people describing these similar invisible worlds and agreeing that they feel just as real as this lifetime? The fourth astonishing fact is that 80% of DMT experiencers describe DMT as a life-changing experience. This is based on a study out of Johns Hopkins that was published in 2020, and this is the largest ever survey of DMT experiences to date. It surveyed 2,561 DMT experiencers, and an amazing 80% of the sample said that DMT changed their fundamental understanding of reality. 65% of the sample said it was among the top 5 most spiritually significant experiences of their entire lives. And 89% of the sample reported an increase in well-being and life satisfaction after their experience with DMT. Now, it's also important to note that 32% of the sample rated this as among the top 5 most psychologically challenging experiences of their lives. But it's simply incredible to think that a 15-minute psychedelic experience, DMT only lasts 15 minutes, a 15-minute psychedelic experience is producing these dramatic, life-changing effects. The fifth astonishing fact is that in these DMT experiences, people describe encountering entities that seem conscious and intelligent. If you examine DMT trip reports, it's incredible to note that almost every single one includes some description of encountering another being or beings in these DMT realms of existence. In fact, the previously mentioned survey out of Johns Hopkins was designed specifically to investigate this topic of DMT entity encounters. Amazingly enough, this survey found that 95% of the sample described these beings as conscious and intelligent. 95%. And 72% of the sample believed that the entities are real, that they continue to exist even after the effects of the experience had worn off. 49% of the sample reported experiencing some form of communication with these entities, which is just phenomenal. I mean, this is incredibly mysterious. Who or what are these entities? If we can communicate with these entities, then what might we stand to learn through these encounters? And another question, if all these DMT experiences are just hallucinations in the brain, then how can we explain this incredible consistency, where people from all over the world, from all different social cultural backgrounds, are reporting encountering these beings? What does that tell us? The sixth incredible fact about DMT is that not only do DMT users report entity encounter experiences, but also God encounter experiences. This study out of Johns Hopkins has actually documented that thousands of people around the world report experiences described as God encounters, where we encounter some reality that is felt to be absolute or infinite or divine. Now, Dr. Strassman in DMT, the Spirit Molecule, described DMT as a personal encounter with the Big Bang, God, cosmic consciousness, the source of all being. According to the previously referenced study out of Johns Hopkins, over half of self-described atheists no longer identified as an atheist after their DMT experience. Let me say that again. over half of people who were an atheist before the DMT experience no longer identified as an atheist after the DMT experience. We're talking about incredible DMT facts. What could be more astonishing than this? This is a 15-minute experience that truly goes straight to the heart of some of life's greatest mysteries, biggest questions, and is regularly changing people's perspective on whether or not God exists. That is truly astonishing. The seventh astonishing fact about DMT is that the discovery of ayahuasca is so highly improbable that we have no idea how it originated. Now, you probably already know that DMT has been used for thousands of years in the form of a shamanic brew called ayahuasca. But did you know that no one truly knows how ayahuasca was first discovered thousands of years ago? Here's why. Ayahuasca is a combination of two plants native to the Amazon rainforest: the caapi vine and the leaves of Psychotria viridis, or the chacruna plant. Only through this specific combination of plants can the DMT become orally active and offer its profound psychedelic effects. What's amazing to consider is that the Amazon rainforest is one of the most biodiverse ecosystems on the planet, with over 80,000 different plant species. So the odds of finding this exact combination of caapi vine with chacruna leaf are astronomically small. In fact, it would be 1 in 6.4 billion odds of this being an accidental discovery. So then how was ayahuasca first discovered? Well, if you ask the indigenous people, they'll tell you. They say that they received this knowledge from the spirits of nature, that the plants themselves communicated with them and instructed them on how to concoct this magical and powerful brew. Is it possible that ayahuasca has supernatural origins? Modern science is quick to dismiss that idea, but if you consider how miraculous and how healing and how meaningful the presence of ayahuasca is in today's world, is it really just some accident that it is now here on the planet with humanity? Maybe not. The eighth astonishing fact about DMT is that DMT experiences closely resemble near-death experiences. This is an incredibly intriguing connection that raises so many questions about the nature of consciousness, about life and death, about where we came from before this lifetime and where we are going. This study describes how in both DMT and near-death experiences, people subjectively report the same core characteristics to the experience, which include the following: consciousness separating from the physical body, moving through a tunnel into a bright light, arriving in a transcendent realm or dimension beyond this universe, and encountering beings there. Again, we have this very difficult to explain phenomenon where all over the world, regardless of social, cultural, religious background, people are describing these experiences in the same fundamental ways. The study itself states that the data reveals striking similarities between DMT and near-death experiences that warrants further exploration. This demands further exploration. I mean, what is going on here? There's no obvious reason why DMT would be so closely linked to near-death experiences, especially considering that they arise under such different circumstances, right? But there is a clear link here. And what does this tell us about the nature of consciousness, reality, and the possibility of life after death? The ninth incredible fact about DMT is that it not only mirrors near-death experiences, it also resembles UFO abduction reports. Now, this is a strange and incredible finding, but it's been documented in the scientific literature, and Dr. Rick Strassman writes about this in his book DMT, The Spirit Molecule. Let me read a little bit about what he states in this book. Strassman explains that as the event begins, consciousness is disturbed by a bright light, humming sounds, strange bodily vibrations. The individual may float or otherwise make their way into a new environment with strange beings busily moving around. Abductees commonly report seeing tunnels of energy and light. They also report the collapse of space-time and a sense of entering other dimensions of reality. Some abductees feel that there is a connection with these alien entities using telepathic communication rather than words or language. These are all incredibly precise similarities that match perfectly with what is described in the DMT experience. And as Strassman goes on to state, the resemblance is undeniable. How can anyone doubt, after reading our accounts in these last two chapters, that DMT elicits typical alien encounters? My friends, this is a complete enigma. Is it possible that DMT is linked to UFOs? Is it possible that exploring the DMT experience could give us new insights into the mystery of UFOs that have been blowing up our headlines and all over the news these days? Personally, I do believe so. Now, last but not least, the 10th astonishing fact is that DMT is a promising treatment for stroke victims. Now, this is quite a shift from the topic of UFOs, but just as incredible if you ask me. Multiple independent clinical trials have found that DMT can promote brain plasticity and neurogenesis. These are the key factors involved in the brain's ability to form and reorganize synaptic connections, which are needed for healing following a brain injury. A recently published study showed that rats who were treated with DMT recovered from neural damage much more rapidly and had sustained positive outcomes. So maybe in the future, DMT will be used as a treatment for strokes. And again, this just emphasizes how we haven't even begun to scratch the surface of the true potential of this substance. Please comment down below, what do you think was the most interesting or compelling fact that I shared today? Thank you so much for watching. Please visit me on Patreon, where you can support this channel and help me continue making videos just like this one. You can also find me at innervisionpsychedelics.com to schedule a free one-on-one session with me. So much love, and I'll see you back here very soon.